She admits to having discussions with this guy. She and I have been kind of rocky for a while, says it was nothing physical, but deleted everything pertaining to what they had discussed via text. Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today, gonna go over a story titled, Am I Out of Line for Being as Upset as I Am? And guys, this story is about a guy, I'm guessing probably he's relatively young, younger than me at least. A long story short, he ended up kicking his girlfriend to the curb after she pushed him too far in terms of what he just definitely, what he didn't say it, but what I know is red flags. You're going to see in the story here that this girl, his girlfriend, is a waitress, and as it turns out, she's starting to have an inappropriate relationship with somebody at work. Some guy that she felt bad for because he was going through a tough time, and at one point you're going to see how she tries to get this boyfriend of hers to become friends with him, let this guy sleep on her couch, and then he starts seeing all these other red flags that finally he was pushed too far and kicks her to the curb. And he's now wondering, did I go too far? And that'll be a good one here because my audience here, absolute majority is men, and a lot of you guys do relationships, whether you want to admit it or not. And I can't stress enough, I've said it on the other channel countless times, where there's smoke, there's fire. You got to pay attention to the red flags, trust your gut. Now, if something doesn't add up, something seems wrong, you need to act on it. Because if you turn a blind eye, it could hit you down the road. And also you're going to see in this story, guys, this guy's been cheated on in the past with his ex-wife. He ain't going down that road again. And for all you guys out there, you got to understand that there's a point where you got to kick a girl to the curb and move on. And hell, maybe he was wrong. But better to be kicked to the curb and teach a lesson than actually be burned badly yet again. So I'm going to go through this and you're going to see more I'm talking about here. Starts off, he says, Greetings all. I've recently encountered a snag in my relationship with my girlfriend of 10 years. Well, I wouldn't quite call it a snag. What I will describe is what I know of the situation as it was discovered by me. Approximately 6 months ago, my girlfriend started a new job waitressing. She loves it way more than her last job, which she hated. Fast forward a few months, and I started noticing odd behavior. She has always been a kind person. It gets her into trouble far more often than not. She likes to be there for people. So in other words, her heart is probably bigger than her brain. She approaches me one day with a radical request. The other people at the restaurant have been giving this kid a couch to sleep on, drifting from place to place. She wants to take him in because she feels bad for him. His ex broke his heart. The typical bleeding heart story. I'm uncomfortable with this and I deny the request. I explain why I'm uncomfortable, and the issue seems to pass. It is not your job to take in some stranger to come living in your apartment to sleep on your couch because your girlfriend feels bad for him. Okay, for God's sakes, that guy obviously has family or somebody that knows him, and he can stay with them. And she barely knows this guy. I mean, imagine she takes him in. Imagine this guy would go for this, and this guy turns out to be mentally deranged, freaks out one night, and offs both of them, right? Red flag number 1. It says, now a few months later, she approaches me asking me to become friends with this guy. I don't mean a simple request either. She gets angry when I refuse, leading to an argument over the topic. The issue seems to pass again, though this time with an argument as a result. So, what you thought was a good relationship, this guy keeps coming back in the picture to be an issue. Again, more red flags. And when women generally start talking a lot about some other dude, that says a lot, okay? Oftentimes, if they start talking about another guy they like, or they admire, or they claim to like only as a friend, they're probably saying to you, this is your replacement if you don't stop pissing me off or whatever she thinks you're doing. So again, these requests, talking about this other dude, she won't let this thing up. This is an issue. Within days of that incident, something feels wrong. I can't explain it. Trust your gut. The gut doesn't lie. It's anybody's superpower, to be honest. Sixth sense, superpower, whatever. The force. I confront her and ask what's going on. She's now coming home late from work all the time. Moody when at home, all this feels off. It is time for a serious sit down, and if she doesn't get a major attitude adjustment real quick, we're done. Or, I don't like the way things are going. You're not acting like yourself. We're getting into fights over this dude here. All of a sudden now you're staying late at work and all of that. You're going to leave that job or we're parting ways because something ain't right. She admits to having discussions with this guy. Aha. She and I have been kind of rocky for a while. Says it was nothing physical, but she deleted everything pertaining to what they have discussed. Deleted it as text messages, all of it. This is not the first time she has deleted things that she felt would make me upset. I've let it go in the past. That this time is a lot harder. Smack. You should never have let that go in the past. He obviously didn't want conflict, or didn't want to believe what he thought was going on, and let things go in the past when she was deleting conversations. When a woman is deleting her text messages, particularly with a guy, that's because inappropriate stuff is going on. That's because she doesn't want you to know what she's talking about. That's why. Absolutely should, at this point, kick her to the curb. He says, I broke it off, and for about a week, we've been trying to come to terms. I love her, but my ex-wife broke me with lying and cheating, and I want to believe she's a better woman than my ex was. I really do. The problem is, she still works with this guy. He still texts her about how much he wants to be with her, and only her. She says she can't simply ignore him. They are both managers and have a line of communication. So, first it starts off, this guy's a drifter and going through hard times. He's sleeping on the couch. And now he says they're both managers. This is the part that seems a little strange. Did they hire him, they gave him a job or something? That's the part that doesn't add up here. But the point is, this guy keeps reaching out to her and says that he wants to be with her. Okay, this is when this guy tells her, there are red flags here, but if we're going to be together, you're going to stop working there. And guess what? She can make a complaint. If he's bothering her, she can complain to management, especially nowadays when a gal complains, that guy's going to be gone in a heartbeat. So this is bullshit. And this guy knows this, and he's been cheated on before, so he knows the signs. She says that they bonded because of talking to each other about their problems. Big freaking deal, lady. Tell you what, we're done, because he did break up with her. Now you can go bond all you want together, because I'm out of here. She continues to swear it wasn't anything serious. But there was something. But I saw those drunk texts rolling last night. I've been that drunken fool once or twice in my life, spilling my heart out to a woman. It seems like he's very caught up in feelings for her for something that never went past a certain point. She has a real hard time looking me in the eye. I can't help but feel there's more to the story than I know of. Dude, I guarantee there's more to the story than she's letting on. Because in all these stories, they never let on more than what's absolutely necessary. If guy has a proof of a few texts, she'll acknowledge those texts. Even though he may have been actually making actual phone calls to her, or showing up to the house, or showing up to her work, she's not going to mention that. She'll mention and acknowledge what the guy has figured out. Nothing beyond that. That's a common trend with these stories. There is so much smoke here, it could be a wildfire. He did break up with her. He needs to move on. And after living together, make arrangements to get out of that lease or whatever. He says, it's eating me alive inside. I don't want to harp on it, but my head won't let go. My instincts are screaming at me. Am I wrong for being upset? I really want to know. No, dude. Not at all. There is, again, where there's smoke, there's fire. And there's a whole lot of freaking smoke here. You've been through this before. And for anybody watching this that has been cheated on, and you saw the signs then, but you didn't really act on them because you weren't sure. But a second time around, you're not going to fall for it again. This guy has every right to kick to the curb and move on. Let her be that dude's problem. You know, maybe they're perfect for each other. And he says, I also should note she claims to have asked him to back off, but in a very light manner, as if leaving the door open a crack, or maybe to spare his feelings. I don't know. Well, at the end of the day, she really wants to be with you. Not that I think this guy should give her any more time, but pretty much say, look, you're going to quit that job. You're not going to have any more contact with him. Anything beyond that, we're done. And see what she does. He also says, I should also note she claims pushing me to be his friend and giving a place to stay was platonic. And any heavy discussions they may have had took place after those. Big deal. I don't care. This has gone too far. You either end it with him or we're breaking up. Or staying broken up. But in my opinion, there's too much BS going on. And again, if she has a history of deleting texts with other dudes, and even talking to other dudes, because you're in a serious relationship, to the point you're living together, she shouldn't be having any buddies or dudes she's talking to through text and all that. Sure, she's going to talk to a guy on the job, but not actually have a relationship with them. Not good. And no good's going to come from this. Now, a few comments here. One guy says, it's nice that she's sparing someone's feelings, Pity is not your feelings. You're not out of line. Deleting text messages is proof enough of inappropriate relationship in my book. I'd welcome her to live with Captain Couchsurfer and pursue him to her heart's desire and not use me for security and financial support any longer. I know it sounds rough, but she knew your history and is repeating classic cheater behavior. Anyway, I would assume that she knows his history. She's been cheated. He has been cheated on. But here we go. And it's interesting that people tend to end up with relationships with the same types of people. Your girls complain all the time that I always pick that guy. And it's in reference to the bad boys. And oftentimes guys pick that girl that will cheat on them. And a lot of time boils down to their behavior and that type of gal. So this guy may have a history of picking girls just like this to pull this type of crap. Now the guy says here, either she quits that job immediately or there is no point in even discussing the situation. That's what I've been saying all along. If she refuses to do that, just leave it. Just leave. It's obvious she can't keep working there and continue a relationship with you. She's already cheating with this guy, at least emotionally. Another guy says, I hate to say it, but I guarantee they slept together. Ouch. Very likely. Deleted texts are all the information you need. There simply is no reason to delete them unless she is hiding something from you. You're not out of line, not even close. There are too many red flags to count at this point. I've told my wife if an issue ever came up with someone she was potentially attracted to, and I found out she had deleted texts with said person, that I would be forced to assume they were talking about having you-know-what together, and it would be a game-over situation. I like this guy, laying out boundaries, laying down the law immediately, so there's no confusion down the road. The same goes for me if the situation was reversed. So a manager has no place to stay but with you and your girl. Something does not seem right. That's because it's not. She thinks you are a pushover. The best move you made was to break up with her. Please do not get pulled back in. You know that something is not right. The fact that she's choosing him over you by continuing to talk to him should make it a lot easier to move on. If you decide to pull the blanket over your head and at least tell her she needs to find a new job, if you're going to throw your dignity out the window. Sorry you're going through this. I hope you find some happiness in the future. Amen. And stop picking these girls that have these similar traits to the wife that cheated on you. Yeah, I don't think he should take her back, but if he had to do it, you absolutely lay out the boundaries. Well, you're not going to work there anymore. You're not going to talk to this guy in the story. That's if he would want to do that. I agree with this guy that he'd be just setting himself up for more problems. He should just whoosh, cut it loose and move on. And one more, a guy says, you were broken by your ex-wife by her lying and cheating. Did you ask yourself whether you'd be able to handle it if you were to find yourself in a similar situation in the next relationship? Too many of us betrayed partners jump into a relationship we were not ready. By the way, yes, you should be upset and sad, but you shouldn't lose your mind over it. Got to shrug it off and start questioning your choice of women. That's what I was thinking. This guy may have a habit of picking the same type of girl all the time. Because let's be honest, most of us have a type. Tend to be attracted to certain looks, personality, certain connection, that type of thing, for better or for worse. But anyhow, guys, not a long one here, but the point of this whole thing is pay attention to the red flags, listen to your gut, and when your gut is saying something's off, you end it. And even if everybody you talk to says you're in the wrong, or you're overreacting, or you're being too judgmental, too harsh, insecure, whatever crap they throw at you, which they will, do it. You got to take care of yourself first. And if something feels off, your Jedi power is telling you something's off, listen to it. Listen to your gut. And I guarantee you're not going to be disappointed in the end. All right, guys, that was it for today. It's a quick one. This honestly could have been done on the other channel, but I thought it'd be a good one here as well. Be sure to comment down below. Let me just think about this. And guys, you come across a good story like to share, by all means, email it to me, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. Just give me some time to get to it, and I will. This could be articles about crazy things happening all over the world. It could be typically Reddit type of things, because there's no shortage of wackos on Reddit sharing their stories and experiences and all that, which we can both be entertained and learn from. Or your own personal stories that some crazy things have gone in your life. All of them are good, they're entertaining, and they can help guys out. And be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.